Okay everybody, so let's start off this video with the statement that every critic who has reviewed every Sonic the Hedgehog game has started off with. Sonic hasn't had the... No! Hey everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog, and this is a bit of a different type of video than what I normally do on this channel. Like, I guess you could say that this is sort of like a rant video, but this video will be focusing on two of the most controversial comments that I tend to hear when it comes to critics reviewing a Sonic the Hedgehog game. And before we get into this, here are a few words for the channel. Alright everybody, it's time to get on the social media train. Want to chat with me in 100 words or less? Then check out my Twitter account. Want to talk about movies, TV shows, and video games within the group? Then check out my Facebook account. Want to check out some of my ultra cool fan art? Then check out my DeviantArt page. Want to get the lowdown on everything that's happening on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So probably the most controversial comment that I sometimes hear on some of the professional critics of Sonic games was, Sonic was never good. Now, this comment as a whole, I don't agree with it at all. This is one of those comments that I never like because I feel like this comment is like stating that all Sonic games are bad. And I'm like, no, not all Sonic games are bad. There's actually been a lot of good Sonic games released over the years. I mean, I've been a huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog ever since it was first released in 1991. And the fact that I hear comments like Sonic was never good, it makes me think about whether or not the people who made those comments ever played a Sonic the Hedgehog game, or their first exposure to Sonic the Hedgehog was a game that was really bad, and therefore they said Sonic was never good because of that one game they played that was bad, but yet they never played any of the previous games before that one bad game. And I just felt like comments like this is just like a big slap in the face to the fan base, because it's like saying Sonic was never a good franchise to begin with, so it actually has no fan base that actually cares about said franchise. And Sonic the Hedgehog has one of the biggest and most dedicated fan bases I've seen out there. So to make a comment like Sonic was never good, it's like you're ignoring all the good games that came out of this franchise, or basically you're ignoring all the positive things about this franchise, and you're also overlooking all the fans who really care about this franchise making statements like that. Now the second statement is a little more complicated because it all comes down to how you see the statement. And the second statement states, Sonic hasn't had the best time since its transition to 3D. Now on the one hand, I do kind of agree that there were some bad Sonic the Hedgehog games that were released during the 3D era. I can make the same case about how there were some bad Sonic games released during the 2D era, and I can see some kind of truth to that statement if you were to view it that way. And yes, this franchise had its ups and downs during the years, but on the other hand, this statement could mean that there was no good 3D Sonic games that were released during the 3D era. And I have to disagree with that side of the statement, because there were some 3D games where Sonic had technically the best time. Like, you look at the Adventure titles and they had a lot of success, and then you look at other 3D games like Sonic Generations, which was very well received. So when you look at 3D games like the Sonic Adventure series and Sonic Generations that were both pretty successful, I have to question about, seriously, did Sonic not have a best time when it made its transition to 3D? Again, this is a franchise that had a lot of ups and downs throughout its years, but at the same time, it did have its high points when it did go to 3D. But then again, I'm not going to pretend that there weren't any bad Sonic games that happened in the 3D era, because there were some bad Sonic games in the 3D era. So again, this comment can go both ways depending on how you view it. And then also a problem with this comment is that it's been stated so many times in a lot of professional critics' reviews of some Sonic games, and I can understand how fans get frustrated whenever that particular statement is brought up so many times, and I agree. I don't think the statement should be brought up so many times each Sonic game review. If you're there to review just the Sonic the Hedgehog game, don't bring up the topic Sonic hasn't had the best time when it made its transition to 3D. We don't need to hear that all the time. Like, that's not relevant to the review you're giving. You're reviewing this specific video game, so why do you need to bring up that comment constantly? And I can see why fans are upset with that. And again, I do agree with fans getting upset about that particular comment constantly being brought up, because it doesn't need to be brought up every time. So what are my thoughts about both of these comments? Honestly, I don't care for either comments. Like, of course, I don't like the comment about Sonic was never good, because again, you're overlooking all the good Sonic games that came out, or you're overlooking the more positive side of the Sonic franchise. And then I don't care much for the comment, Sonic hasn't had the best time since its transition to 3D. And while there is some truth to that statement, like there were some bad Sonic games that came out during the 3D era, I don't think that's a statement that needs to constantly be brought up in every review. You know, everybody don't want to come to these review videos to hear that statement be brought up over and over again. So I can see how that's upsetting for a lot of fans. But even though I don't care much for these comments, I don't mind people hating on Sonic the Hedgehog, because each person has a different preference for what they like, and it's all up to personal opinions. Like, maybe the idea about a speedy blue hedgehog fighting a mad scientist might not be your cup of tea, and that's fine. But when you make comments like Sonic was never good, it's like you're generalizing the whole community, like you're saying that nobody likes Sonic the Hedgehog, when that's not true at all. Again, Sonic the Hedgehog has a huge fan base, and it feels like when you're making comments like this, you're generally insulting the fan base that like this franchise. So again, I can understand if you personally don't like Sonic the Hedgehog, that's fine. But I don't think it's right to make fun of the fan base for liking this character, because again, everybody has different preferences for what video game characters they like, and I think that everybody should be entitled to talking about what characters they like. But yeah, with comments like Sonic was never good, generalizing pretty much the community and ignoring the fandom who genuinely like this franchise is, as Sonic puts it,
that's no good.
So that's my thoughts on the most controversial comments made within the Sonic community. And tell me in the comments down below, how do you guys feel about these comments? And do you think these type of comments hurt the franchise at large? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you really enjoyed this video and you want me to do more discussions about Sonic the Hedgehog, then please let me know in the comments down below what other discussions you want me to do about Sonic the Hedgehog in the near future. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you guys later.